Alright, next part. Big box. Big and bulky. Not all that heavy. It's not a cylinder. I'm going to guess ahead. Got about that kind of feel to it. Yeah, look at that. It's one of those. Shaped like a head. Well packed. No damage. I like that. Ooh. It's made out of metal. Definitely made out of metal. Can't see what I'm doing on video. It's a mess. Lots of cardboard for protection. Good. I don't like this styrofoam because it makes a big mess. Makes these little balls everywhere. Hard to get rid of. They tend to follow you around. Yep, that's a head. Look like a shift cover there almost a little bit. Now I can see the stud sticking up. Another panhead. Man. Let go of the head. Get rid of this plastic before it makes too big of a mess. Yeah, hate that stuff. Messy. There, I get down to the head, see? $56. Keep the studs for pounding through boxes. Put foam in there. Good packing. Definitely got here no damage. Well, except for damage already on it. No new damage. Alright. I made a big mess. My air nozzle. No air pressure. Makes it hard to do air. Alright, we'll do it this way. There we go. Got no air? Make your own air. Alright. That's a rear head. Exhaust spigot seems to have a little damage. But it's an original one, so that's good. No noticeable broken fins, that's a miracle. This one here got damage here from being hit on. That's going to have to be fixed a little bit. Intake nipple's good. Excuse me. Yeah, it looks like these helicoils have been, its head's been cut out for big helicoils already. It looks like they're 1/4 inch already too, which is not good. See, these all look like they're big ass holes. They're not number 10s. Looks like they're 1/4 inchers. I don't know if they have any 1/4 inch bolts around here to check with. Nothing I see laying around, as usual. Nothing laying around when you need it. So it looks like they're helicoil 1/4 inch. So every one of these holes has to be welded up, which is a big pain in the ass to do. So you always want to look at that in the videos, or pictures when you're buying stuff. Price accordingly, you got to fix every damn hole. But the studs are all good, and they're there. That's a plus. Exhaust spigots, I pretty much figure I'm going to do that on every head I ever do, so I don't care about that too much. The cracks in here are not too awful big, but they're in there. I'm thinking they put a replacement seat in there because it looks like a different color than normal. It's hard to tell, might not be. It's definitely down a little ways. Yeah, that's probably original. Just cut deep. The aluminum's real thin right across here. That's because that spark plug insert's a piece of steel. It's got these fins that stick out underneath the aluminum. So this crack right here cracks down, then goes in and hits the steel underneath. So when you see these cracks, it's not a major issue, unless you see really big cracks. These ones here are not too awful bad, but they are cracked into the valve seat, which part you don't like, but they are what they are. Looks like these inserts are relatively high, so they're not sticking above the surface, which would be a bad thing, so that's good. Head gasket surface doesn't look too awful uneven, a little bit. So it's got these big fins still here, which is really nice. Yeah, overall it's not too bad of a head. It's been dropped right here too, that's why that fin's down. So you don't see no crack though, just bent down. Oh, there might be a crack right there. It doesn't sound like it's cracked. So what you do in here is you put your torch in here, you heat it up a little bit. You put a screwdriver in here and you just kind of tug on a little bit, or a pair of like needle nose pliers or duckbill pliers or something. You go in there and bend it up a little bit, it'll bend. So if you got a flat bill plier like that, you can go in there like this. But that tends to put just a bend right here on the lip, which you don't want to do. That's why I like using the screwdriver method. So you come in there with a pretty flat blade, big one. Go in here like that. You just put heat on it, keep steady pressure on it here, and then eventually it'll soften up and just go right on up. Pretty easy. So you gotta get some heat on it. Try to preheat the whole head so it's not just in one spot. But being a fin, it's not too awful bad, just in one area. But I kind of heat the whole general area a little bit first, and then you put a little pressure on that, and it'll bend that whole fin back up. It's bent all the way over to here, so you got to heat across the surface from here to here like this. So gets the heat to come up more even. And what was the other one that was damaged? Oh, this one up here. So this one here is a little bit more of a hit. Once again, I'm not seeing any cracks, but it's definitely damaged. It's like I said, just go in there with a torch and heat up the area you want to go on, and just, like I said, put a little pressure on it. If you put too much pressure on it, you're going to break the fin below you, or it'll break that one. If you put too much heat on it, you'll melt the fin next to it, which you don't want to melt. So just keep the heat spread around a little bit, play with it a little bit, and it'll probably come right up. So I'm not going to do that right now, but that's something we could show doing maybe. I don't know. So overall, not too bad of a head. So the intake sunk a little bit, but no biggie. Not a killer to the head value. So having all these holes all oversized is the biggest pain in the ass there is. I don't like that. Oh well. Well, there you go. That's what it looks like. Now the later heads usually have casting numbers right in here when they were actually casted. So not having any kind of a number in there, it's either going to make it a real late production, or maybe over-the-counter replacement, or it's something really early. These are 56, but they had a different 56 cast and had a number under here, so these are actually 57. These are late 57, 58. So I've seen numbers of 59 numbers on there, and I think I've seen some late 58 numbers. So if this has no numbers here, it might be a late 57, early 58 head, or it might be something like a 61 or head or something like that. 62, 63. They went to outside oiler. So they had a big bung over here. So I'm not sure about the 62s and late 61s. I've seen 60 casting numbers over here. I don't know if I've ever seen some 61s. So it's either going to be a little bit early or a little bit late. I'm not sure which. But all your early heads have the 5 fins right here on the spark plug. So you see 5. The heads before this and after this only had 4 fins. So they're always going to be, this casting is always going to have 5 fins on it. So that's one way of identifying it, which gives you a little better cooling. So I like that part. Alright, there you go. Nice decent panhead. Alright, go find something else.